Today's lesson is about gaming in education and how it impacts society, education, and how it's impacting the actual classroom. So here's a short video that kind of talks about gaming in education. Gaming in education. Game-based learning is a relatively new topic that's come about here recently, with schools' push to implement technology and keep students up to date. Gaming is where learning and fun intersect. Why does gaming work so well in the classrooms? Gaming reaches a variety of learning styles in just one lesson. Games hit on auditory stimulation, visual stimulation, and they give kids a hands-on experience, and they can make it competitive. That really helps students with ADHD. The way our current classrooms are set up fails students who learn differently than the average student. There's all types of learners, and classrooms really only teach to that one learning style. We use bookwork to meet the standard and to help children do well on standardized tests that happen at the end of the year. Even though teachers teach to the standard, it's obvious that something's not working. 48% of students with a learning disability in South Carolina alone dropped out in 2014. Teachers are being taught to use a strategy called explicit instruction, and it's a type of lesson writing that involves stating the goal, assessing background knowledge, modeling the lesson and what's expected, guided practice, and independent practice, and that's exactly how games are set up. Gaming actively engages students and it promotes participation. If students know that if they do well the first part of the morning, that playing on the iPad is their reward, they're going to work extra hard to get their points in the morning so they can play those games later on that afternoon. Students with learning disabilities often have low social confidence, which means they struggle with being able to read a social situation and know how to properly respond. They also get easily flustered when they're asked to come up to answer or write on the board. It's this constant cycle of being behind their peers and then being so flustered they can't gather themselves to at least write what they know on the board. Gaming can eliminate that feeling of being put on the spot in front of the class, and it creates a competitive environment. So students want to learn the material, they want to do well because they want to be able to compete against their peers. Gaming provides adaptive challenges, in other words, preparing students for the workforce. Gaming fosters creative, critical, and systems thinking skills that kids need when they enter the current workforce. That's what our society is moving towards. In an interview with Sir Ken Robinson, he talked about how schools were created. The school system that we have today was created during the Industrial Revolution because they needed to quickly educate people to produce skilled workers, and everything, society, the workforce, it's all changed since then, but our school system is still the same. Our school system needs to evolve so that we can meet the learning styles and the needs of our students. It's called the International Society for Technology and Education, and they created a list of standards that need to be met, and gaming helps to meet those standards. It produces creativity and innovation. Students apply existing knowledge to generate new ideas, products, and processes while they're gaming. And here's just a few other examples of the standards met by playing video games. But now we're going to watch a video about gaming within the classroom and how teachers can become the facilitator to provide students with the materials that they need, but then the students can take that and pursue their own interest. So this is how it can be implemented in the classroom and monitored so teachers can ensure students are learning.
So SnapThought is a tool that BrainPop has created to have students stop what they're doing and reflect on what's going on during the game at that moment. So I'm going to look for a game that has SnapThought enabled. Not all of the games do, and it tends to be the longer ones that do. I am going to click Play Game. So I'm going to start a new game. I'm going to disable the tips for now, but you may want to have those. As you play the game, you're going to click on this right here. So I'm going to pick a guy. I'm going to enter my name. I'm going to choose partner, and I'm going to click Go. At any point during the game, I can pause, take a picture of the game, and then over here, if I click on it, I can actually write a description of what I was thinking, what was going on during that moment in the game. And so you'll see I have a bunch of different spots that I can do that. And so I, as the teacher, if I was having my students play this game, I might have just a time every so often where I would say to them, okay, everybody pause, SnapThought, and go over here and reflect on what's happening so far in the game. And so it gives you an opportunity as a teacher to see what the kids are thinking, what they're having trouble with. You could definitely tailor those questions and tell the teachers exactly what you're doing. I want you to just notice that right now, even though I'm in the Snapchat feature, the game is going on behind me. As you go through and complete these, you will be able to see what the students have done. You'll see right here it says right now teachers can't save game snapshots, but students can. And so they can actually maybe after the fact, once it takes that picture of the game, they could do those reflections later. And then there will be a button down here at the bottom where they would hit submit, and then you as the teacher would be able to see them.
So that's called SnapThought, and it was created by BrainPop. But video games have not only changed education, they've also influenced society. They've brought economic benefits. They brought almost $12 billion to America's economy in 2014. Video games that promote helping others, the video games where you build towns and whatnot, promote pro-social behaviors, and that's part of just repeated instruction is how students learn. So when they're constantly seeing helping one another, that just kind of becomes a part of their daily routine. Video games improve hand-eye coordination. I know a teacher who uses Minecraft to help her visually impaired students improve on their hand-eye coordination. Video games improve problem-solving skills, so students or just individuals can take the trial and error that they've used in video games and apply it or manipulate it to fit a real-world problem. And physicians are using video games to promote health among their patients. So it touches on all aspects of society.